So it's November 2017, question number 5B, Advanced Management Accounting. We are told Jackie's Limited is a company based in France, where the euro is widely used. Ladies and gentlemen, if I was to stop reading that particular question at this juncture, what is able to hit your mind outrightly? In terms of international finance, if I just read the first sentence, what is able to read my mind, or rather what is able to strike my mind very fast? Yes, use euro as your home currency. That you're no longer reasoning like we are Kenyans. No. We are reasoning like having known that our residence is in France, euro becomes our home currency. Thank you. The company has recently imported raw materials from the USA and has been invoiced for US dollars $240,000, payable in 3 months' time. In addition, the company has exported finished goods to the USA and Australia. The customer in the US has been invoiced for US dollars $69,000, payable in 3 months, and the Australian customer has been invoiced Australian dollars $395,000, payable in 4 months' time. The current spot and the forward exchange rates are given as follows. I'm able to see the US dollar per euro, right? I'm able to see the euro per 1 Australian dollar. I'm able to see the lending and the borrowing. So what do they want me to do there? Show how the company can hedge its foreign exchange exposure using number 1, forward market cover. That is the same as what here, forward contract. So for forward contract, I'm only interested in 2 things. So I will come and write here, forward contract. And a forward contract, I'll start first of all, remember there are 2 durations. We have 4 months and 3 months time. We can't combine transactions of 2 different periods. We must handle the 2 different periods separately. So first of all, I'll come and begin with the 4 months duration. The 4 months duration. So the 4 months duration, could you kindly, ladies and gentlemen, number 1, give me the amount involved. Give me the amount in the question. 4 months, could you kindly give me the amount in question? Amount in question. Don't read out any amount coming, or rather, which will be expected to pay in 3 months. I'm only looking at the 4 months duration. The 4 months duration, what are you able to read there? What are you able to read there? 395,000 Australian dollars. Thank you very much. 395,000 Australian dollars. If you look at 4 months, yes, 4 months. In addition, I'm reading the second paragraph of that question. In addition, the company has exported finished goods to the USA and Australia. The customer in the US has been invoiced for US dollars $69,000, payable in 3 months' time. And the Australian customer has been invoiced Australian dollar $395,000, payable in 4 months' time. Thank you very much. So I've been able to identify the amount in question. The only thing that you haven't done for me is to tell me whether this amount is a receivable or a payable. Is it a receivable or a payable? Because without that, then we'll get a 0 in this question. Is it a payable or a receivable? A payable or a receivable? Payable or a receivable? Remember that the worst thing that you can ever do in such a question is to fall onto the trap of the examiner. The examiner will try to put the word payable in the paragraph there to confuse you. Here, the most important thing is to understand it's international finance. Is it an importation or exportation amount? Is it importation or exportation? Read the question again. Read the paragraph again. Is it amount arising out of exportation or an amount arising out of an importation? Paragraph number 2. It's paragraph number 2 we are reading. Paragraph number 2 we are reading. Paragraph number 2 where we have the 4 months. When I say in addition, the company has exported. When we export, goods go out there, we get money in Kenya, or we get money in France. So then, gentlemen, if it's exportation, then we are receiving foreign money. So if it's an export, then straight away, if this is out of our exportation, then straight away, this is a receivable. This is a receivable. Don't fall under the trap of that bad example. Like if they give me a chance, I always keep on telling you this. If they give me a chance of testing my students, of course, I always prepare my students very well to a level where they'll be able to really differentiate between the two. So if they give me a chance, I'll ensure that I squeeze the word payable there to confuse students in this case here who really would want to be confused. Because if you look at this question very well, and the Australian customer has been invoiced Australian dollar 395,000 payable, they're putting payable there. They're putting payable there. But of course, because it is a payable to the person we have invoiced, to us in this case here, the people who exported these goods, this money will be a what here? Will be a receivable. And if it's a receivable, ladies and gentlemen, if it's a receivable, I can see students telling me something very nice. If it's a receivable, there are students who have mastered the entire thing. If it's a receivable, then the bank buys. The bank buys. Because these students have been able to connect, even though this is not a money market question. Even though this is not a money market question, students have been able to connect these with one of the money market rules, which says that foreign boyfriends, they're so nice. They buy dinner. Foreign boyfriends buy dinner. And you can see FR stands for what here? Foreign receipt, foreign receipt, foreign receipt, foreign receipt. So foreign receivable, always you do what here? You buy. The bank buys. The bank buys. So leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, from there, the next thing, please give me 4 months. Give me 4 months forward exchange rate. 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 Is there anybody who is able to see 4 months? How I wish this examiner even gave you a series of months. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. It's important for us to know that these 395,000 Australian dollars, they are receivable in 4 months' time. So you can only work with a 4 months forward exchange rate. Is there anybody who is able to see 4 months forward exchange rate? Anybody who is able to see 4 months exchange rate? 4 months exchange rate? All of us, you know, here they've only given us 3 possibilities. They've given us 3 months and the 4 months. I like that. But no, this is correct. Thank you very much. Mengich has come there in last, telling me, thank you. Administrator, you missed out something. It's an error. You missed out something there, but I can see it's an error. It's 1.9510. But now there is one thing that you guys have missed out entirely, all of us. Are these cows? Are they cows? Are they cows? Are these cows? Are they cows? What are the currencies involved? ASDs. Remember that this is an exchange rate. So exchange rate must be having how many currencies? 2 of them, because you're exchanging between 2 currencies. I can see US dollar per euro. That's Adam telling me. I'm waiting for other students to speak. Others are saying it is euro per ASD. That's Quebec. So who is telling us the truth? Who is telling us the truth? Ruth has also come and told that it is euro per ASD. Euro per ASD. Euro per ASD. Timothy is confirming the same. Who is telling us that, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at this question very well, up there, they've told you euro per 1 ASD. per ASD. See, ASD is 1. So you're right. So it's supposed to be euro, 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 euro per ASD. Now, there is one thing that you guys haven't done yet. I've not seen anybody shaking their hand. I've not seen anybody shaking their hands and telling me straight away, Mwalimu, upon shaking my hands vigorously, even if it's in an exam situation, somebody must tell me that after shaking my hands vigorously, I have been able to pick this figure as the buying rate. Because you shake your hand towards the buying rate. 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 Left-hand side. Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All of you guys are brilliant. You're brilliant. You're brilliant. I'll not have any issues when discussing with you today the currency options and the currency what year futures. I don't see any issue that I'll pick because all of you guys, you're smart. You're so good. This topic does not need, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So they have discovered, ladies and gentlemen, that euro is on this side and the euro is our home currency. And if the euro is on the left-hand side, then the left-hand side figure becomes who? Becomes buy. The other figure becomes who? Becomes sell. But don't forget what you said here, that because it's a receivable, the bank buys. So what I need to do is to come and finish this by fixing a rate. So the bank buys at, now we know the buying rate. The buying rate is 1.9510, and then we know the currency is euro per ASD. It is euro per ASD. ASD is the Australian dollar, is the Australian dollar. So then, gentlemen, now I'm through with step number 1. We've been able to fix the amount. Step number 2, we've been able to define the exchange rate very well, and we've been able to analyze it very well. So step number 3, which is supposedly to be the last step, could you kindly guide me? What do you think will be the last step? What do you think will be the last step for us? Remember, it's forward contract or forward market. What do you think will be the last step for us? What do you think will be the last step for us? Grace says multiply. I'm waiting for the other students here to chip in and tell me, what do you think will be the last thing to be done? Table, table, table. Faith, it's good that it was not a physical class. If it was a physical class, and assuming, Faith, that I was teaching a class 5 student, and you happen to be in that class, Faith, I would have beaten you. I would have beaten you. Sure. 6 scales of the best. Why would I want to beat Faith? It's because Faith, yes, somebody has been able to at least know why Mwalimu would have wanted to beat Faith. Because the concept of tables doesn't feature in forward contract. I don't beat anybody. I can't beat anybody. Okay, so here we are. So in this case here, go ahead and exchange. So when you are exchanging, it is either you multiply or divide or use mother tongue. Like the mother tongue here, we are told it is 1.9510 euro equals 1 Australian dollar. How about 395,000 Australian dollars? We cross multiply. So if you cross multiply here at the end of the day, what are we going to get? We're going to get to 1.9510 euro times 395,000 ASD divided by this 1 ASD. So of course the ASD will cancel out, giving me how many? How much? The final answer. The final answer, I'm being told, is 776.45. 770, 645. Are they cows? Are they cows? Because remember, if you look, I wish we could also get time of sharing CASNEB past paper solutions. The ones in this case used by CASNEB directly. If you don't write a currency and this international finance, you're supposed to be differentiating the various types of currency that we have, you'll miss a mark. And remember, a mark for us in AFM is one too many marks. One mark here will make you see places that you've never seen before. So they're telling me that this, of course, this was cancelled out, leaving us with the euros. Thank you. Now, after that, I would want us to go straight away to 3 months. Still forward contract. We've been able to handle the period of 4 months. Now I want us to handle 3 months. I want us to handle 3 months. 3 months. So I want us to handle 3 months. So still forward contract. Forward contract. Now 3 months. So 3 months, what do we have there? Forward contract 3 months. Forward contract 3 months. Forward contract 3 months. Remember, it doesn't matter the duration. Most importantly, I have to ensure that I define my amount very well. So define the amount very well. Amount very well. Define the amount. So amount, how much? I'm waiting to be given the amount. I'm waiting to be given the amount, because should you define the amount wrongly, then automatically you will get a 0 in the entire question. Thank you very much. So I have the first amount, 69,000. So is this a payable or a receivable? Payable or a receivable? We start with this one first. 69,000 is one of the amounts appearing here. Is it a payable or a receivable? Most of them are saying receivable, 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 because it's an export. So receivable, receivable, cause, export. Simple English you'll be able to understand later. Export receivable. I like what I've seen some students writing there. It's export receivable. Thank you very much. Is there any other amount which falls due on the 3rd month? Which falls due on the 3rd month? 240,000 USD. So there is also another amount here of 240,000. Oh, they are USDs, by the way. USDs. USD. So receivable or payable? Receivable or payable? Payable, I'm being told that this is a payable simply because this is what here? An import. When you import, for example, you import a motor vehicle, you are expected to do what? You have to pay for the motor vehicle. Import payable. Thank you very much, Adam. Import payable. The worst mistake you can ever do in this kind of a question, is to start hedging the amounts kando kando. Ukihedge the amounts kando kando, you'll be so wrong. Because these amounts are coming in the same durations, we need to combine them to give them a consolidated net figure. So come and give us the net amount. If both of them were good, or rather, we know that the receivable is a cash inflow, so that will be 69,000 minus 240,000. Because 240,000 is a payable. 240,000 is a payable, so it's a cash outflow. It's a cash outflow. So then I'm seeing a figure of 171,000. Is it payable or rather USD? Thank you very much. USD, thank you very much. So is it a payable amount or receivable? Is it payable or receivable? I can see most of them like Shaz, like Grace, Timothy, they are saying payable. Why are you saying it's payable? Could you kindly make me understand this better? Why are you saying it's a payable? Why are you saying it's a payable? Yeah, because it's what here somebody an outflow, or rather the payable amount here is much bigger. The payable is much bigger. At the end of the day, when you match the two, you'll be left with a net payable. A net payable. The figure is supposed to be minus 171. It's an outflow, minus 171,000. But remember, in terms of international finance, you can't treat this as a minus. You can't treat this as a minus. So straight away, the net is what here is a payable amount. So if it's a payable, there is something that you guys haven't seen further. If it's a payable, there is something that you must write there very fast. The bank. The bank. The bank sells. The bank sells. The bank sells. The bank sells. Great. Now from there, ladies and gentlemen, please go to the next one. The next one happens to be what here? Somebody, the three, remember this is 3 months. 3 months. Forward. Exchange rate. Forward exchange rate. The 3 months forward exchange rate. Are you able to see it? Are you able to see the 3 months forward exchange rate? Are you able to see it? Now here we are. Have you been able to see the 3 months forward exchange rate? 0.9520, 0.9520, 0.9520 to what? 3 months. 0.9520 to what? 3 months. 3 months. To 0.9525. Thank you. 0.9525. 0.9525. Cows to cows. Cows to cows. Cows to cows. US dollars. No, it is US dollars. US dollars. US dollars. Per what here, somebody? Per euro. Per euro. So what I don't know is whether you guys were able to shake your hands very nicely. If you shake your hands very nicely towards your home currency, you'll be able to know which one is the buying. You'll be able to know which one is the buying. So my home currency is the euro. Euro is on the right-hand side. Then this figure, the right figure, becomes the buy. And this one here becomes who? Becomes the sell. Great. So don't forget, somewhere you say the bank sells. So the selling rate is here. You say the bank sells. So bank sells at what rate? At 0.9520 US dollar per euro. And then the last thing for us is to come and do what now here is to come and exchange. Exchange. Thank you very much. So when exchanging, you can come and talk of the rate that you've picked here, which is 0.9520 US dollar equals 1 euro. And you happen to be having the number of dollars you want to hedge at the end of the day, they're 171,000 US dollar. So then this one here will be equal to who? It will be 171,000 US dollar times 1 euro divided by 0.9520 US dollar. What I've done is to cross multiply. Is to cross multiply. Which somebody gives me a figure of 179, 622, because USD will cancel out euro. Thank you very much. Now we are through with the forward contract. Now from there we go straight away to the money market. Unless there is a question, please allow me to go to the money market. Unless there is a question, please allow me to go to the money market. So money markets will never be a problem to me at all. Money market actually is much easier than any other hedging strategy. Much easier than any other hedging strategy. And I'll be able to explain why. So what I'll do first of all is to come and write money market. We write there money market in capital letters. That's number 2. And then of course we begin with 4 months. As usual, Begin with the amount involved. For 4 months, how much is involved? We just come back a little bit. 4 months, how much is involved? Amount involved, how much? 395,000 cows, Ruth. Receivable or payable? Receivable or payable? Sorry for disturbing you a little bit, but you see I have to, because it's a topic that all of us have to understand. So receivable or payable? Receivable. Fine, great. So if it's receivable, for money markets, I have to tell my examiner which rule is applicable. We have a rule which is normally applicable for receivable amounts. So we have to tell the examiner for money markets which rule is applicable. Foreign boyfriend. So in this case here, apply foreign boyfriend buys dinner. Apply foreign boyfriend buys dinner. Buys dinner. Rule. Foreign boyfriend buys dinner. Rule. So after that, I know now I'll be able to do what Faith told me some time back. I will be able, ladies and gentlemen, very first, if it's money markets having designed the rule, the next thing will be for me to draw the table. So come here and draw the table for me. So draw the table for me. Here we are. Draw a nice table. So on this nice table of mine, thank you very much. On this nice table of mine, could you kindly tell me what I'm going to use? What I will be using here? What will I be having on the first leg, on top of the first leg? What will I be having on top of the first leg? What will I be having on the top of the first leg? Somebody talk to me this afternoon. On top of the first leg, always it's borrow. Always it's borrow. The second leg is to invest. You invest or you lend. You invest or you lend. So borrow, stroke invest. So ladies and gentlemen, remember, here we've got two currencies involved. And each leg is going to take care of one currency. We have the euro, and then we have the ASD, Australian dollar, two currencies involved. Home currency must always be there, which is the euro. And then now we have 395,000 ASD. So then if we have got two currencies, euro is the home currency, ASD, foreign currency. So in this case here, which currency am I gonna borrow? Which currency am I gonna borrow? Do I borrow the euro? Do I borrow the ASD? Which currency am I going to borrow? All of them are telling me ASD because they have understood the concept of foreign boyfriend very well. So if it's a foreign receipt, remember the foreign boyfriend, by that I'm making a very bad assumption. There could be a student who has just joined us today. Ladies and gentlemen, remember here, if it's a foreign receipt, then borrow foreign. So here I'm going to borrow foreign. And the foreign thing that they're telling me is the ASD. And then now automatically I'll invest the other currency, which in this case here, I'll invest the local now. I will invest the local, which in this particular case is the euro. But now remember that in between here, we have what we call convert. And then if you remember very well, normally for money markets, we don't use futures rates. We don't use forward contract rates. For money markets, we always use the spot. We always use the spot. Spot is today's rate. So convert at what here? Somebody at spot. So convert at spot. So then that means that I must, in this case here, leave some space here, right? And then I go to, like the next step, ladies and gentlemen, it will be very important for me to do a spot rate analysis. Is there anybody who is able to see the spot rate? Spot rate between two currencies. Spot rate between ASD and the euro. Is there anybody who is able to see the spot rate between ASD and the euro? ASD and the euro. I've already seen it. I've already seen it. Is there anybody who has decided to turn a blind eye to it? Simply say, I don't want to see it. Don't want to see it. The students who normally say that, they've seen it. They've seen it. So euro, it is euro. I can see the spot. I can see the spot here. I can see the spot here. It is 1.8890 to 1.8920 euro per ASD. Now, there is one mistake. There is one problem that you guys haven't yet seen. I haven't seen anybody here shaking their hands. I haven't seen anybody here shaking their hands towards their home currency. Please don't lift your hand in an exam and then you start shaking anyhow. No, we shake our hand towards the home currency to be able to appreciate the buying rate, to be able to appreciate the buying rate. Which one is the buying rate between the two? So you look at this very well, euro is my home currency. So euro is on the left-hand side. If it's on the left-hand side, then this figure becomes what somebody here becomes buy. The other one becomes sell. And you are the ones who told me very comfortably that a foreign boyfriend always buys. So in this case here, it will be a buy. So buy at 1.8890 euro per ASD. Euro per ASD. Because you've told me a foreign boyfriend buys, don't use sells. A foreign boyfriend can never sell you. Great. Now from there, I would want you guys to do me a favor. Give me the borrowing rate of Australian dollar. Borrowing rate, I have to take care of this foot here. Borrowing rate of the Australian dollar. Borrowing rate of the Australian dollar. I can see Timothy moving in very first. Borrowing rate of the Australian. It's only Timothy, imagine, up to now, who has been able to detect 16%. Borrowing rate, 16%. So this 16%, I'll have to prorate it. It has to be prorated. So in my proration, I should come and multiply it with something divided by something. I would want to prorate there is some time back here, some student told me times 3 over 12. So I was wondering where has this student gotten 3? So later on, I came to realize that the student had thought that 3 over 12 is like a formula. No, it depends on the number of months you expect to receive this. This is a 4 months contract. So it's times 4 over 12. Thank you very much, Faith. It is times 4 over 12. Times 4 over 12. Plus who? Plus 1. And this 1, basically, we add it for purposes of what here? Compounding effect. Remember from primary school, our compounding is supposed to be amount equals principal into 1 plus r raised to power n. This 1. You can cram it because now where we have reached from today, by the way, as much as we would really seek to understand these things, from today, we shall also be developing our what here, our memory skills. We have to know how to, there are things that now where we have reached, you'll have to cram some things. Most of the other things will be explained to you after your exams. So in this case here, plus 1, you cram this. And somebody is telling me that this is supposed to be 1 point. There's somebody who gave me an answer. I don't know where it disappeared to, but there is somebody who gave me an answer. 1.0533. Ladies and gentlemen, there is this other corner of the coin looking for the investing rate of the euro. Remember, euro is in France. Euro is in France. Are you able to see the investing or the lending rate in euro? The euro's lending rate, I'm not saying so many answers coming in, they're only trickling. The lending rate of France, of the euro. There are those who are saying 14%. They are forgetting, ladies and gentlemen, they are forgetting that 14% is Australia, really. And we know that euro is in France. Perhaps for your revision, you could just have this highlighted. This is France. So Jabir tells me it's 11.5%. But now there is one thing that you guys forgot, which you forgot, the proration aspect, class 1. Somebody who did this very fast, could you kindly give me an answer here? Fast, give me an answer there. First, give me an answer there. Fast, give me an answer there. Fast, give me an answer there. If there is any day that I'm so proud of you people, it is today. I never knew that you guys are taking your time to understand this topic this way. Most of you really are so good at this topic that very many students fear, which you should never fear at all. So remember, you gave me this in terms of 4 decimal places. So I also expect this to be in terms of 4 decimal places for purpose of consistency. Faith, don't make them 5. If these were 4, also this ones there have to be 4. If you want us to put 5 here, then let us go back and put this one here in terms of 5. So 1.0383, 1.0383. Now, ladies and gentlemen, is after you're finished now taking care of the 3 sides of this abnormal coin, that you shall come and place the money involved in the question underneath the table, underneath the table. So remember, the money involved in the question was 300 what year? 95,000. 395,000 Australian dollar. Which foot should I put the 395,000 under? Foot number 1 or foot number 2? The left or the right? The number 1. Number 1 because they are Australian dollar. But remember, this has to be underneath like that. So 395,000 Australian dollar underneath. And then our role will be to move this from here all the way to here. Remembering simple things: up, divide, down, multiply, up, divide. So moving from here to here, we're going up towards present value. So 395,000 divided by this. Please give me a figure to write there. $375,012. 375,012. The only thing you guys never told me is whether they are cows or have they changed to goats. They are still Australian dollar. They are still Australian dollar. Thank you very much. Now, from here to here, we need to convert. From here to here, we need to convert. And fortunately, we happen to be having an exchange rate. Fortunately, we happen to be having an exchange rate. So what I'll do, I discovered mostly so many students normally prefer the mother tongue way. They prefer the mother tongue way. They'll tell you that Mwalimu will teach us this way, that the exchange rate reads 1.8890 euro equals 1 Australian dollar. How about 375? How about 375? 012 Australian dollar. So if you do it that way, Mwalimu, we understand better. We understand better. We understand better. We understand better. So in this case, you can see right away when you cross multiply, it'll be this times this, which will give me what figure, ladies and gentlemen. Timothy, thank you very much. Which will give me what figure, somebody here. Which will give me what figure, somebody here. Somebody please help me. Somebody please help me. Somebody please help me. 176,178. 176,178. So now here we are, but unfortunately, most of you never told me what this stands for. 746, 709. Who is telling me the truth? Yeah. Because this is like twice of this. So it should be around 750, slightly less than 750. So this figure is not correct. This figure is not correct. The figure, please look at this. We are cross multiplying this times this divided by. We are cross multiplying. It's multiplication. It's multiplication. So they're telling me, Mwalimu, this one is not correct. It's not correct. So 708, 398. 708, 398. 708, 398. Unfortunately, you guys have not gotten used to writing of the currency involved. That is a must. So from there, ladies and gentlemen, let this thing fall down. Down, we always do what here? Multiply. Down, we always multiply. Take the figure that you have there times the number that you had here, the 1 point something. And then give me the final figure here. Give me the final figure here. Give me the final figure here. Somebody, give me the final figure. Somebody here. Somebody. Give me the final figure. Down multiply. So 735, 530 euros. 735, 530 euros. 530 euros. So this is the final figure that this gentleman will receive. 735, 530 euros. Yes, using money market, that is what we expect the person to do, what to receive. Now, after the ending of this, never forget to do a summary for us. So go ahead and summarize everything for us. So please give us a summary. Please give us a summary. Please give us a summary. So summary, what do we have here? Summary. So please give us a summary. So in our summary, what do we have here? We have the forward contract. And then we have the money market. So money market is 735, 530 euros. 735, 530 euros. How about for the contract or for the market? Can somebody make reference to the forward market we did up there and they give us the summary or rather the amount that we finally got there? Aha. So Alice tells me 770, 645. 770, 645 euros. Is that correct? Yes, and even Winnie, Winnie, I wish you were in a normal class setup. I would have given you a present right away. Because Winnie has been able to know straight away that given the two hedging techniques, that this person would rather hedge forward. Because forward will give him more. 770,000 is more than 75,000. So forward leads to a better receivable. A better receipt. So in this case here, we are saying advisory there. Jackie's, even a lady, Jackie's Limited should hedge using forward contract. 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 Unfortunately, the students, when they reach here, they start very early celebrations, saying that this semester have knocked this thing upside down. Forgetting that whatever you've done there for money market is for 4 months, there is a whole like 3 or 4 months waiting for you for doing again, going through the same processes, but this time around, how many months? 3. So mention there money markets, 3 months. 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 So money markets, 3 months. Money markets, 3 months. 3 months. The major concept is the amount involved. If I remember very well, amount involved we got at the end of the day, 171,000, which was what here, somebody? A payable. Having known the amount involved, could you kindly go ahead and give us the rule applicable? So rule applicable, is there anybody who is able to see the rule which you shall be applying? The rule applicable, the rule applicable. Is there anybody who is able to see the rule which you shall be applying? The rule applicable, rule applicable. Is there anybody who is able to see the rule which is applicable there? Yes, this is a foreign payment. It's a foreign payment. It's a foreign payment. So if it's a foreign payment, we know that for foreign payments, borrow local, and the bank does what it sells. Please write this in full. Foreign payment, borrow who? Borrow local. Foreign payment, borrow local. Foreign payment, borrow local. Foreign payment, borrow who? Local. Foreign payment, borrow local. Foreign payment, borrow local. Foreign payment, borrow local. I can even go ahead and, ladies and gentlemen, analyze the spot rate. I just finished this once and for all. Because the foreign payment, I need to tell them the selling rate. So the spot rate, this is a spot rate between who and who. Remember that these were US dollars that I would want to convert to my home currency. So I want the spot rate between the US dollar and the euro. Are you able to see the spot rate between the US dollar and the euro? Are you able to see the spot rate between the US dollar and the euro? Yes, I can see 0.98. 0.9830 all the way to 0.9850, like that, 0.9850. Yes, and these are in terms of who? US dollar per euro. From, ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing that I would want you to appreciate is that the most important that I would want thing that I would want you to appreciate, ladies and gentlemen, is that money markets makes use of spot exchange rate. Today, spot means today. Exchange rates. Money market do not go to the future. Money markets, you normally use what here, somebody? We normally use, I wish I were you. I would have written this thing in my mother tongue. That for money markets, always we use a spot rate. Spot rate. Even if they gave you, like, it doesn't matter, 10 rates, for money markets, I always choose the spot rate. Spot rate. There is one thing you guys haven't done up to now, and I don't know why. Most importantly, the moment you give me this kind of an exchange rate, I will be able to shake my hand towards my home currency. It is not yet lost on me that euro happens to be my home currency. So which one is the buy? 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 What I say, ma? Buy, because euro is on this, right? Buy is this. This is buy. And then automatically the other one becomes who? Becomes sell. And you say the bank is going to do what? You've said the bank is going to do what? 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 The bank sells. And it's going to sell this at 0.9830 US dollar per euro. Ladies and gentlemen, after I've taken care of the 3 ticks, I know what the next thing will be. The next thing is to come and draw our beautiful table. We draw our beautiful table. And then even if I don't know really what will be happening, there is one thing that I will never forget, that the first foot here will be borrow. The other foot here automatically will be to invest. To be able to know which currencies I'm going to put here on the table, I need to remember the rule which is being applied here. Foreign payment, borrow local. The local currency is the euro. So we are borrowing local, which happens to be the euro. We are borrowing local, which happens to be the euro. And then we invest in which currency? Here are how many, or rather we have got two currencies. I've already picked out the euro. So which currency in this context am I going to invest here? Somebody. Which currency am I going to invest here? USD, thank you very much. Because you've got only two currencies. Two currencies. So I'm going to invest here, the US dollar. I'm going to invest here, the US dollar. Thank you very much. US dollar. And then I know here I'm going to convert. I'm going to convert this at spot. I'm going to convert this at spot. The question is, which spot rate are they talking about? Which spot rate are they talking about? Which spot rate am I going to put here? Which spot rate am I going to put here? Yes, I have already identified it. It is here, the spot rate that I'm going to use here, which I picked from this spot. It is 0.9830. It is 0.9830 US dollar per euro. Like that, per euro. Now, there is one thing that you guys honestly haven't done for me. Could you kindly tell me borrowing rate of the euro? Euro, which is based in France. Borrowing rate of the euro. Are you able to see the borrowing rate of the euro? Borrowing rate of the euro. Are you able to see the borrowing rate of the euro? When I say my euro France is 13%. So we have here 13%, 13%. I'm so sure you guys will say times 4 over 12. Is that the case? Times 4 over 12 to prorate? Times 3 over 12. Shaz has been able to see times 3 over 12. So times 3 over 12 plus 1. How about investing or lending rate? Investing a dollar rate. Investing or lend. Winnie has told me that this is supposed to be 1.0325. Thanks, Sharon. Kibet anasema investing US dollar rate. Lending US dollar rate is 10%. So 10%, of course, this has to always match 3 over 12. So even here, we should talk of 3 over 12 plus 1. So at the end of the day, what figures are we getting here? At the end of the day, what figures are we getting here? We are getting 1.025. Great. And then now we have the money in the question. If it's a payable, come to realize after you practice quite a lot, if it's a payable, payable must always come here. If it's a payable, it must always come here. But the most important thing is for you to appreciate that this 171,000 US dollar falls under the US dollar leg. So this 171,000 will be there. 171,000 will be there. So 171,000 what here? US dollar. And then now we start our processes up, divide. And they give me a figure here. Up, divide. Give me a figure up there. Up, divide. Give me a figure up there. 171,000. So now I'm doing 166,829. I'm getting different figures. 166,829 seems to be the most popular one. 166,829. Cows. If there are cows telling me we start doing more. US dollars, thank you very much. US dollars, thank you very much. US dollars, thank you very much. US dollars. So from there now we know in between there is conversion. And if there is conversion, ladies and gentlemen, then we must write this thing in mother tongue. There is a shorter way, but I don't want you to get stuck with this shortcut because at times it could confuse you. The best way is the mother tongue way, where you tell us 0.9830 US dollar equals 1 euro. How about 166,829 US dollar? So you cross multiply. So this will be 166. This will be 166,829 US dollar times 1 euro all over 0.9830 US dollar. 0.9830 US dollar. So could you kindly give me this amount? I fix it here. I fixed it here. Somebody give me this amount. I fix it here. I can see 169,714. 169, 714. So 169, 714. And most of them have gone ahead to tell me that, Mwalimu, you can't confuse us because now we know that we are on the leg of euros. Now, the only thing that we need to do to crown everything now here, we need to put the crown down. Down, multiply. Down, multiply. Down, multiply. So down, multiply. So what do we have here? Somebody down, multiply. What do we have here? Somebody. Down, multiply. What do we have here? Somebody. Down, multiply. What do we have here? Somebody. What do we have here? Somebody. So 175, 230. 175, 230 euros. Thank you very much. So having gotten that for sure, we know, the examiner asked us between the two, which one is the better hedging strategy. So we know that the next one, for purpose of comparison, will be very important in the next step for us to come and do a summary. We do a summary. Could you kindly try summarizing down between the hedging techniques that we have? Kindly summarize down there for me. Kindly summarize down there for me between the two hedging techniques that we have. Kindly summarize down there for me. Kindly summarize down there for me between the two hedging techniques that we have. Kindly summarize down there for me. And then, of course, if you're a pretty nice student, please go ahead and tell us between forward contract and money market, which one is the better deal? So we have here, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have here? So we have here summary. So under our summary, we have the forward contract. And then number two, we have the money market. So money market is the one that is 171,000 US dollar. And then forward contract, I can't remember very well what the forward contract amount was. Is there anybody who can remind Mwalimu here? Forward contract. We had done this forward contract earlier on. What was the forward contract hedging strategy giving us? So 179, 622. 179, 622. Of course, these are what here? US dollars. And now from your arguments, I can see most of you, Mengich. Was it 162 or 179? Please check again, Forward contract, Doreen confirms it should have been 179. It was. Adam has given us a different figure again. Forward contract for this question. It's euros. I'm being told euros. I'm so stupid, man. I'm being told euros. So are these figures correct? Euros. Thank you very much. Mengich at least has come now to realization. Yes, and said it's 179, 600. So between the two, which one is the better hedging technique? Which one is the better hedging technique? Ruth, Alice, Christine, at least I can see these students have already remembered that this question is a payments question. I mean, who would want to pay more? Who would want to pay more? Always go for the strategy. Go for the strategy that will minimize your payment. Money market, I don't know why this 171,000 is confusing you. Money market, yes. I'm the one who is wrong. Money market is not 171,000. Money market was supposed to be 175. Money market is supposed to be 175. I'm wrong, Jabir, there. Don't try to defend me. It is 175 230. Thank you very much. Euros. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm wrong, but nevertheless, still money market becomes a cheaper way. Thank you very much for asking for that clarification, which has led to, I believe, what here? I believe better understanding. Faith is saying forward is 171,000 euros. Do we have that kind of a figure anywhere, really? Do we have that figure, 171,000 euros? I doubt, Faith. 171,000 was our starting figure, which was in terms of US dollars. Sorry, perhaps I've moved quite with a lot of speed, because I think I've lost some of you. Yeah, great. Faith says yes. Great. Let me do another question from this area before we move on to something different. Allow Mwalimu to do just one more question here. Just one more question, just one. Yeah. May 2019, question number 4A. May 2019, question number 4A. May 2019, question number 4A. Ruth is asking a question that I would want us to discuss after we finish these things, and then we'll be able to see whether it's necessary or unnecessary, really. May 2019, question number 4A. May 2019, question number 4A, Kadizenga Limited. Is it a question that you guys have seen in any of our videos? The Kadizenga question, have we done it in any of our videos? Yes. So Mwalimu Kadizenga, that one Kadizenga, we are comfortable. And if you're comfortable with that, really, then I think now we are good to go. Kadizenga Limited is on which page? Somebody help us there, because mine is a very old one. You can even see it doesn't have any cover. It's a very old one. Somebody help me there. Kadizenga is an old question, very old question. I know my revision kit is the one that is very old. Otherwise, Kadizenga itself is just a recent question. Great, thanks. How about May 2016, question number 5, Jasper Limited? May 2016, question number 5, Jasper Limited. Is it a question that you guys can remember having watched on one of the videos? Jasper Limited, Jasper. Yes. Then he wants to be reminded of the question, or somebody has already done it. You guys are brilliant. So also Jasper, you can see students have even memorized the names. Jasper Limited, Winnie. Unfortunately, our men haven't spoken there at all. No gentleman has spoken there at all. No gentleman has spoken there at all. No gentleman has spoken there at all. Whether they have watched, we are okay, sir. Thank you. Great. Now from there, we go straight away to November 2015, question number 5. November 2015, question number 5, C, Granada Limited. I'm winding up. Granada Limited. November 2015, question number 5. November 2015. November 2015, question number 5. I like what Winnie is telling me. I like what Winnie is telling me. Question number 5 of November 2015. Somebody help Liz again. I think I'll need to get that new revision kit. It'll be easier for us to be moving along together. Kibet, someone share. November 2015. Question number 5. Is there any student who has been able to try that question? Any student who has tried that question apart from Winnie? Nobody's talking to me. Nobody's talking to me. Nobody's talking to me. Nobody's. Then let's do the question together. Let's do this question together. We are being told Granada Limited. Thank you very much. Now we have gotten the question, I presume. Now we are looking at this together. Granada Limited, a UK-based company, imports. So if it's an importation, is it going to be a payable or a receivable? Lulu, you haven't understood my question, Lulu. No, you understood much earlier. Thank you very much. So if it's an importation, you are bringing in goods, then you must pay for them. So this is a payable question. I love it. And if it's a payable question, what role will the bank play? Bank sells or bank buys? When it's a payable? Bank sells or bank buys? So if it's payable, sales in capital letters. Thank you very much, Lulu. Sales in capital letters. Bank sales in capital letters. Thank you very much. So Granada Limited, a UK-based company. So the company's residence has been defined. Ladies and gentlemen, this semester, how I wish my friend, Dr. Leting, could give me a chance of setting your exams. How I wish. Of course, that it must have been set a long time ago. So my wishes cannot really apply here. But how I wish. If I was the one to set your exams, to throw some of you under the bus, what I'll do, I'll tell you that Granada Limited is a company based in UK, which has exported goods worth 28 million Kenya shillings. So the trade is between the UK and Kenya. So in that case here, what would be your home currency? Is a Kenya shilling? Is Kenya shilling going to be your home currency? Remember, you are a Kenyan, but I've told you that the company in question here is based in the UK. So do you reason like you are a Kenyan or do you reason like you are a Briton? UK home, Britain, yes. How I wish they could give me a chance. I'm so sure, even with that alone, I'll be able to put 3/4 of the students under the bus. The bus, in this case, will leave them down as it goes towards where? Canaan. Yeah. Remember, of course, as a good examiner, you are at war. You know, it's war. A good examiner, you are always at war with the students. And the most students you leave out of the bus here, students you get out of the bus that is going towards Canaan, the better you are as a who? As an examiner. Well, that is a bad thing. But you see, my role also is to tell you some of the tricks that the examiners may use. The role that I have to play here, Beatrice, yes, is to tell you some of the tricks these examiners may use to ensure that you are thrown underneath the bus so that you will always be floating, because already you know You know the kind of tricks, yeah? Yeah, but we are surviving. We are surviving. The trading currency is the Singapore dollar, and the value of the deal is Singapore dollars 28 million. 3 months credit is given. The current spot exchange rate is Singapore dollar 2.81 sterling pound. Because of recent volatility in the foreign exchange markets, Granada Limited's directors are worried that a rise in the value of the Singapore dollars could wipe out the profits on the deal. 3 alternative hedging methods have been suggested as follows. We have a forward market hedge. That one I'm so sure my students will be able to handle this very well. We have a money market hedge. Where I come in is in number 3, an option hedge. We are told the Granada Limited's treasurer has provided the following information. The 3-month forward rate is 2.79 per pound. Granada Limited can borrow Singapore dollars at 2% interest rate per annum and sterling pounds at 5% per annum. Deposit rates have been given. And then number 4, a 3-month American call option. American call option to buy $28 million at an extra rate of 2.785 could be purchased at a premium of 200,000 on the London over-the-counter. OTC stands for over-the-counter option market. Number 1, indicate which would be a better hedge between the forward market hedge and the money market hedge. I would want you to do me a favor without looking at the answers given here in the revision kit. I would want you to try number 1, which needs you to evaluate the forward and the money market hedges. Only the forward and the money market hedges. For my case, I'll only be able to handle the options thing, which is part 2. Part 2. So I'm giving you exactly 10 minutes, please. 10 minutes. I need you to evaluate the money market and the forward contract hedge. Thank you very much. Is this something you guys think you can do, or will I be wasting our time by giving you time to exercise a little bit, to do an exercise? Will I be wasting time, or do you think it's something you can handle? Silence means, Mwalimu, we can do it. And I'll give you the 10 minutes to try. Please, please, please. Forward is better. So what I would want to do, I know some of you may not have gotten these answers, but I would want to throw this ball to you, which I would want you to ensure that you play the ball until you get these answers. Or what do you think? Don't you think giving you the questions, this question you try it later until you get the answers is a better option, is a better strategy? Yeah. So you can also practice. Practice is key. Now, where I come in is to solve the options. The options. So options. So option, what have they told us? I like this options concept. Yes, I like the options concept. I like the options concept. So under the options, ladies and gentlemen, what they're telling us, in note number 4 of the question, note number 4 of the question, a 3-month American call option to buy the $28 million at an excess rate of 2.785 per pound could be purchased at a premium of 200,000 on the London over-the-counter option market. They want us to evaluate the option hedge if the following spot rates were applicable in 3 months' time. 2.78, and then we have 2.82. So what are they telling us there? That a 3-month American call option to buy the $28 million at an exercise rate of 2.785 per pound could be purchased at a premium of 200,000 on the OTC market. Evaluate the option hedge if the following spot rates were applicable in 3 months' time, in 3 months' time, in 3 months' time, in 3 months' time, in 3 months' time. Quite easy, quite easy, quite easy. So if options are acquired, we are supposed to evaluate the amount payable, the amount payable in those 3 months' time, 3 months' time, using the prevailing rates, using the prevailing rates, very easy. Like the first rate that will be prevailing, which will be prevailing is Singapore 2.78, Singapore dollar equals what here, somebody? Equals 1 pound. You see when they say, to 1 pound, equals 1 pound. These are very good rates they have given me. That if in 3 months' time, this is the rate that will be prevailing. If this is the rate which will be prevailing, then the question is, how much shall I pay? How much shall I pay? Remember, the payment amount, total amount is 28 million Singapore dollars. 28 million Singapore dollars is the total amount. So how much will I be required to pay? Can somebody in this case here go ahead and multiply for me? So this will be 28 million times 1 divided by 2.78. Could you kindly go ahead and give me this amount? So Grace gives me a figure of 10,071, 10,071, 10,071, 942, 942, 10,071, 942. Cows, euros, so euros. And then remember, because of the benefit that options give us, that flexibility, that I have an option, that I have in this case the right but not an obligation to run away, you'll always be told to pay something upfront. The something payable upfront is what we call the premium. So add the premium. Add the premium. So could you kindly give me the premium payable, which was paid upfront? Is there anybody who is able to see that premium? Payable upfront. The premium payable upfront. So somebody is telling me that that premium was 200,000 euros. Remember that this is supposed to be a payment. And this, of course, was a payment. So therefore, the total payment here becomes what? Somebody tell me. The total payment becomes what? Somebody talk to me. The total payment. Is it euros or pounds? There's somebody who gave me euros. I can't remember who it was. So this is supposed to be what here? Pounds. Pounds. So could you kindly give me this figure? Kindly give me the total payment. Total payment when you add up everything at the end of the day. £10.27.1942. £10.27.1942 pounds. That is a very good analysis. If the prevailing rate will be 2.78, that is how much will be paid. Now, the second scenario is number 2. What if the payment rate will be, 2 point what here somebody? They have given us two options. They've given us two options. It will be 2.82. What if the payment rate will be 2.82? 2.82. 2.82. So 2.82 what to what here somebody? 2.82 Singapore dollar equals £1. Hebu saidia hapo tuone. Great. Pounds. Yeah, I think this is what is confusing. It's supposed to be pound, yes. It's pound, sorry for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, if that is the case, then listen to me very well. Look at what will happen if the payment rate is like this. Then it will be 2.82 Singapore dollar equals £1. How about 28 million? How about 28 million Singapore dollars? Could you kindly do the cross multiplications for me? If you do the cross multiplications for me, this is what I will get. I will get 28 million US dollar times £1 over 2.82 Singapore dollars. So please go ahead and do your multiplications. Somebody gives me 99 to 90, 078. Somebody had given me this figure, 99, 290, 78 pounds. Thank you very much. So what do you think are we going to add onto this? Or is that everything? It's an option thing. There is some money you had paid up front. Which is, so in this case here, we must come and add the premium. Payment. I know this could easily confuse you with that addis thing, but this is something that you're supposed to really know. That it's a cost on you. For option, it's a cost on you. You must add it. So they add the premium amount, which was £200,000. So therefore, the total payment will be equal to what here, somebody? Total payment. Could you kindly give me the total payment? Remove 10. Thank you very much for that. Let me see what you guys had given me. Yeah, it's 0.78. Okay. Remove 10. Yeah. So please, when you add now the two, what figures are we going to get at the end of the day? 10, 129, 0.78. 10, 179, 10, 170, 129, 0.28, my pounds as usual, like that. Now, we got the last thing. There is one thing, of course, I know very many students will get it up to here. I know, and this is very important to me because most of my students really here for options, they'll be able to pick these marks quite easily. But there is one issue that so many students, or 78, sorry about that. There is one area that so many students here will never get it right. This thing of what here, somebody, this thing of what here, the options rate now. The options rate. Is there anybody who is able to see the options rate? Options rate. Anybody who is able to see the options rate, the locked up price? Yes, it is 2.785. 2.785. So we have 2.785, 2.785, 2.785 Singapore dollar equals £1. How about 28 million? How about 28 million Singapore dollar? Itakuja pesa ngapi, somebody? Please cross multiply. So this will be 28 million Singapore dollar times £1 divided by 2.785 Singapore dollar, which will end up giving us what amount? Which will end up giving us what amount? 97.39, 130 pounds. Regardless of whatever happens, there is the 200,000, add the premium of 200,000 pounds. So what are you able to give us here, somebody? What are you able to give us? So 10,053, 10,053, 10,053. Wamekataa. 10,053, 860 pounds. 10,053, 860 pounds. Now go to the last stage, which is the decision stage. Go to the last stage, which is the decision stage. Now, I would want us to reason together here. Remember my example of a farmer who had contracted some, or rather a hotelier who had contracted some farmer in Trans Nzoia. So he made an agreement with this farmer in Trans Nzoia and told this farmer, or the figure here is not correct. Please let us correct this figure. Let's correct this figure. How is this supposed to be like? Before I continue with my example, 10,253, 10,253, 10,253, 10, that's Lulu's figure, only one student, 10,253, 10,253, 10,253, 860 after premium, correct. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Now we have the case of the farmer. This farmer has gone down there and contracted, or rather the hotelier has gone down there to Trans Nzoia and contracted a farmer, told the farmer, you go ahead and plant potatoes on your 10 acres piece of land. On this 10 acres piece of land, I would want you to do potatoes there. And once you plant the potatoes on harvesting, I'll be procuring these potatoes from you at 2,000 bob. And now then during harvesting, you go and of course get other farmers. We have other farmers. We have somebody in this case here who wants to sell to you, potatoes for 1,500, and another farmer who wants to sell to you potatoes at 3,000. Now listen to me. So if you go down there during harvesting, and of course you walk around, you realize that farmers are out there, they want to sell to you potatoes at 1,500. Remember, this is an option that you have. This one is an option that you have. So if it's an option, it gives you the right, but you're not obligated. So if you realize that there are people who are willing to sell to you cheaply, then, ladies and gentlemen, what will happen? You will forfeit. You are right here. You will say, no, I don't want your potatoes. Go to hell with them. After all, I paid you some advance premium. Go to hell with them. Not unless you come down like these other guys, go to hell with those potatoes. So I'll be able to bolt out and, of course, go to where I'll be able to minimize my payment. Should I get, in this case, ladies and gentlemen, a payment which is what here more? Should I get other farmers out there who are selling expensively than my farmer, contracted farmer? Then I'll tell this farmer, no, remember, I have this option with you. Please, honor, sell to me the potatoes at the price that we agreed up front. So now here, we happen to be having an options. How I wish I could get a better way of explaining this. How I wish I could get a better way of explaining this. Ladies and gentlemen, remember what we have here. We have something very interesting, and I would want us to draw this. So we have two scenarios. Scenario number one, we have the option payment. Option payment. The option payment, scenario number one is 10-253, 10-253, 860. 860. And then we happen to be having the actual payment on the ground now. On the ground. I can call this one here on the ground. On the ground, the first one was 1027. 1942 pounds. I don't know whether you guys remember this figure. Are you able to remember this figure of 1027, 1942 pounds? Are you able to remember that figure? Are you able to remember that figure? Was it before premium? Really? I can see it's after premium. The first figure. The first figure. The first figure. Yes. Now then, could you kindly then advise me? So if this is the case, now here you are like the potato farmer, the hotelier, I mean. So the hotelier, if you go as per the option that you agreed with this farmer, you'll pay this much, right? Otherwise, out there on the ground, there are other guys who are asking for this payment. Where do you think in this case here you are better between the two? Are we better working with the option or the on the ground, the actual figure out there? So you can see here that the option is cheaper. Option is cheaper. Option is cheaper here. Option is cheaper, and therefore exercise the option. Exercise the option. The option is cheaper, and therefore exercise the option. So in this case here, what you're telling these people is that if the actual rate, if actual rate will be 2.78 Singapore dollar per what here, somebody per pound, will be Singapore dollar 2.78 per pound, 2.78 per pound. This person is 100 times better exercising the option, working with the option. What if the actual rate? What if the actual rate? What if the actual rate is 2.82? Is 2.82 Singapore dollar per pound, per pound. What am I able? So if I'm the one doing this, I'll come and draw this thing again. I'll come and draw this thing again. Say option payment. Option payment is 10, 25, 38, 60. On the ground, on the ground, on the ground, on the ground. Is there anybody who is able to remember the ground figure if we use this 2.82? On the ground, what do we have? On the ground, what do we have? On the ground, we have 10,253. No. There is the ground figure. Somebody who is able to remember this. 10,129. 10,129. I don't know whether this is the truthful figure. 10,129, 078, 078. So in this case here, what do you think is the better thing to be done? So what I'm able to see is that the option payment becomes very expensive here. The option payment becomes expensive. Is that okay? Are we together really here? The option payment is expensive. So what you do, the decision you make here is that the option payment is expensive. The option payment is expensive. The option payment is expensive, and therefore don't exercise. Don't exercise the option, and therefore don't exercise the option, and therefore don't exercise the option. Therefore, don't exercise the option. I'm so sure that you guys have not really understood much here. But again, with some little relooking of the video and practice, you should be at home with this. You should be at home with this. We should be at home with this. Okay. Great. Ladies and gentlemen, I want